Chương trình này được bảo trợ bởi
Family Joy, tổ ấm y tế của mọi gia đình, 714 898 0765.
Hi, welcome to the OC Health and Education Show on Little Saigon TV. I'm your host, Julie Yip. To us, OC stands for community because we believe our community is stronger when we come together. This is a bilingual English and Vietnamese program dedicated to bridging the language and the cultural gap that exists in our community that can present as barriers in our community. Today, we have a very special guest, that's Mr. Mark Anthony Paredes from Clever Care, to join us today to talk about his community work and some of the special senior programs that are coming up. Julie Yip kính chào quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV trong chương trình Kiến thức, Y khoa, Gia đình và Xã hội. Chương trình Kiến thức, Y khoa, Gia đình và Xã hội là OC Health and Education. OC là our community. Julie hy vọng cộng đồng của chúng tôi sẽ đồng kết nhau và có nhiều cái thời gian gặp nhau mỗi tuần để cho nó nói chuyện về thông tin rất là quan trọng cho quý vị. Julie cảm ơn quý vị đã tiếp tục theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức Y khoa, Gia đình và Xã hội mỗi thứ ba lúc 7 giờ tối với mỗi thứ tư bữa sáng. Mark, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Julie, for inviting me today on your show to talk about some of the work that I've been working on with the Vietnamese community as well as the community at large. I've known you for some years now, and the work that you've done with OC Autism and the community work has been tremendous, and I'm really honored and thankful to be able to be here to speak with you and also the Little Saigon TV audience to share some of the activities that's going on that will better serve not only our senior community but everyone in general.
You know, Mark, in all these years that I've known you, you and I have always kind of been the behind-the-scenes people to do all the hard work. So I think this is the first time we actually are sitting down to be so formal, right?
Yes.
And I mean, you look great today. Thank you so much for dressing up for the part.
Well, thanks very much. I think in many ways, it's very hard for me to be out in the public because, like you said, the work needs to get done, and so usually you'll find me in behind the scenes, making sure that we're taking care of everything that needs to get done. So the fact that I'm actually here, I'm very thankful, so that way I could share with our audience what's going on and what we're planning. And I think sometimes we have to go outside our comfort zone to make sure that our message is also heard.
Well, thank you again, Mark, for being part of this show. Thưa quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV, hôm nay Julie hân hạnh mời được một người bạn rất là quen mến với Julie, đó là Mark Paredes. Mark Paredes với Julie làm rất nhiều cộng đồng Việt trong cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình, về cộng đồng của mình. Hiện tại về trong mùa Covid, Mark giúp về food distribution, về làm nhiều việc khác. Hôm nay Mark là tới mình là cái người senior manager của Clever Care. Julie muốn hỏi thêm làm sao Mark tới được mức đây. You know, I just kind of segue over to my question, Mark.
Okay.
Is that, you know, today you're sitting here on my show as the senior manager of Clever Care. So I want to know more about how did you get here? You know, did you always wanted to do this position, or did it just kind of slowly get to, you know, to present it as an opportunity for you?
Well, I think interesting question. I've always been involved in being part of the community.
Yes.
And it really stemmed from way back when I started my college days at UC Irvine. That's where I got introduced to the Vietnamese community here in Little Saigon. And one of the interesting classes I took was a Vietnamese American community culture class. And it allowed me to be able to understand the history between the different groups of Vietnamese that came from the war.
Oh.
And also that class was an eye-opening one because it also exposed me to many of the foods and culture, such as 7 courses of beef, which was something that was unique to me. By the way, my background is I'm an immigrant from the Philippines.
Oh.
So a lot of people mistaken me from other communities, but
because you're so active in the Vietnamese community, just in Garden Grove and in Orange County, right?
Yes. And so I went through a course when I was at UC Irvine that really taught me about service, community public service. And so when I finished my education there, I went on to UCLA, where I was able to pursue a master's in public policy. And then after that, I immediately jumped into working with the Asian American community on mental health services.
Okay.
So I was working and running youth programs in LA, in Orange County, and in the Valley. And then after that, I started working on healthcare policies, where it got me further in depth to understanding what are some of the issues that face the community at large, challenges with Medicare, challenges with Medicaid or Medi-Cal.
Okay.
And that kind of spurred the interest even further. And I worked for various health plans where I got into positions in community engagement, community service, and recently joined Clever Care as their senior manager for field engagement, which is now really developing the strategies on how we address the healthcare needs for our Asian Pacific Islander community. And so that's why I'm here as well, because I also want to understand what kind of what do I need to know about the Vietnamese community and how we could better serve their seniors, and so that way we could have a health plan that really meets the need of our community, and not the health plan dictating what the seniors need.
Wow, Mark, I'm not sure if I can translate or put that all into this segment, but thank you so much. I know definitely what you're sharing with me is that you have that education, the background knowledge, and even all the interest to learning more about the community and trying to meet the specific need of the community.
Sure.
I definitely see the connection between your formal training and your current position. But I love that transition over. And what I'm hearing from you, it's almost like a different philosophy of serving the community, where you mentioned that it's making sure that the health plan works for our seniors, right? And understanding our seniors. So thank you so much, Mark, again, for sharing that aspect. Thưa quý vị khán giả của Little Saigon TV, hôm nay Julie có thời gian nói chuyện với Mark Anthony Paredes. Mark Anthony Paredes là Senior Manager of Clever Care. Clever Care là một cái medical group giúp cho mấy cái người senior, mà những người lớn tuổi. Hiện tại đó, Julie hỏi đặt một cái câu là làm sao Mark được cái position đây, là hồi xưa Mark là học cho trường UCI, and then trong cái thời gian học tới UCI, Mark học dài cái khóa mà để cho tìm hiểu về cộng đồng Việt Nam mình hơn, để cho anh có thời gian giúp kỹ hơn. Sau đó Mark qua trường UCLA học được một cái bằng về public health, để cho hiểu về cái insurance với làm sao giúp cộng đồng của mình. Sau đó Mark vẫn làm việc cái policy là mình hiểu về cái insurance, mà hiện tại là phải hiểu cộng đồng của mình để cho giúp chi tiết hơn. Mark, I tried my best to summarize what you're sharing, but the gist of what I was saying is that I love that you have the formal education, the special interest to dig deep into the community and to make sure that you listen to the community to see so you can address the needs specifically. So I want to ask you this: who inspired you to be so active in the community and to have such a heart for the community, Mark?
I think that question is, it comes down to the people that I'm serving, right? Public service is very tough, and there's a lot of, you hear the good and the bad.
Yes.
But when you're able to help someone and you're able to see the help and the benefit that person is receiving from your help, it really is truly special. And I know, for example, during this time, during the pandemic, a lot of people were in need. And so I think there's opportunities in time that we need to step up and help others. And when, for example, we were doing a food distribution, just seeing the smiles on the people's faces meant so much to me. That was the reward, that we were giving something back.
And I remember you mentioning that you had people coming back, and so you would see familiar faces, right? Or working with organization. What was one of the Vietnamese organization that you helped with the food distribution?
It was the Vietnamese American Southern California group, and they were delivering the food to seniors throughout Anaheim, Westminster, Garden Grove, and also we were able to do other projects with them.
Okay, thank you so much. Cảm ơn quý vị đã tiếp tục theo dõi chương trình Kiến thức y khoa gia đình và xã hội. Hôm nay Mark Anthony có share chia sẻ với mình á, là còn trong cái mùa pandemic trong về Covid thì Mark Anthony có giúp về food distribution, về giúp mà cộng đồng Việt Nam của mình, người lớn tuổi mà về food distribution có người đem đồ ăn trực tiếp tới nhà luôn. Sau phần quảng cáo chúng tôi sẽ tiếp tục nói chuyện với Mark Anthony Paredes của Clever Care.